Hey guys, so today's video I'm going to be doing a book tag. Lately I've been really liking book videos. I've been wanting to film more like book related content, and my filming schedule has not been the easiest or as much time as it would usually take for me to film, so I wanted to film something kind of chill and easy today. So today's video I thought I would do a book tag. This is the 20 questions book tag. I've seen a few people doing the like mid-year check-in book tag, but I don't really feel like I can do that, so I thought I would just do a pretty general 20 questions book tag. And I think this is the 2.0 version of this tag. So I'm going to go through the questions on my phone and let's get into it. The first question is, what are your favourite genres to read? I would probably have to say I really like mystery and like crime books. Those are probably my favourites to read. I like kind of suspenseful books that have something kind of going to them, and like something that kind of keeps you hooked, I guess. So I guess I really like suspenseful books, but I do really like a good crime mystery book. Like, that's one of my favorites I've read. Do you read more relatively popular books or do you read more underrated books? Ooh. I don't know. I would probably say like kind of in the middle, I'd have to say, because I feel like for me, I'm not on like Book Talk. I only watch like a few booktubers, so I'm not like really well in the community. But I do like to read books that are kind of ones that I know I like and will pique my interest and I personally really enjoy. I don't know, I guess a lot of the books I read are like somewhat popular, but they're not ones where everyone's talking about them online at the moment. I'd probably have to say kind of in the middle between underrated and popular. From what author have you read the most books from? I would probably have to say Agatha Christie. I've probably read the most Agatha Christie books I've read a lot of books from different authors, but usually just like one book from them, or one or two. But Agatha Christie, I think I've read like 4 or 5 books from her, so I'm not 100% sure, but I would have to probably say Agatha Christie. What audiences do you gravitate towards the most? Young adult, middle grade, adult, etc. I don't know. I guess adult, but I also go young adult as well. I don't know, I'm not a big like romance kind of girl. I just like more of a mystery kind of book, I guess. I don't know. I guess young adult, that could be one. I'm not sure. Most relatable character? I have no idea. There's not a character in particular that's like popping to mind, so I wouldn't really have an answer for this. Have you always loved reading? Yes, I've always loved reading. I used to read a lot when I was a kid. I have so many memories of reading in bed before I would go to sleep, and I have memories of going to the library as a kid, and I remember even going to the library when I was in Scotland, like getting books from Scotland while I was over there, so that was really fun. I think I've always loved reading, so yes. What's a book that feels like it was written for you? Ooh, the book that I've read the most of is called Born Free. I've read that book probably like 12 times, and I got it when I was 16, and I actually did talk about this in one of my previous reading vlogs that I did. I've read that book a lot, and I really like the way that it's written because I like the style of like someone talking about their experience or kind of journaling as they go about things or experience stuff. I like that, like kind of a biography, but more of a kind of talking about things as they happen, so it feels like you're with them. First or third person. Ooh. First or third person. I think third person, I would have to say. But I do like a good first person kind of read. I don't know. Can I say both? Are you a mood reader or a TBR reader? Definitely a mood reader. I'm definitely someone that has to read. Like, I am very particular about what I read because I am someone who like bases their reading off of how they feel and what they're interested in and stuff. I'm not someone who could just pick the next book and go, oh yeah, I'm gonna read that. Like, I have to be in a very particular mood to read like a romance book or a crime drama. Series or standalones? I like a good standalone, but I do like a good series as well, where there's like multiple. I don't know if the Agatha Christie books count as like a series, but I guess I would count them because you can buy them as a series of like having multiple of the books together. So I guess series, because I do like having multiple books by the same author or having books that kind of will be based on each other. That's kind of cool. Do you annotate your books? Not really. The only time I've annotated a book was when I did my Jurassic Park video. I decided to annotate it because as I was reading the book, I annotated any bits that were to do with the movie or any bits I found interesting or any bits I wanted to talk about. But usually no, because I'm not like, I don't really like writing in my books. I don't like leaving pen marks or highlighters in them. I'm someone who might annotate if I'm going to do a video about it or if I want to talk about it, but not really. No, I just usually leave books alone, but if I'm doing a video on them, then yes. Long or short books? I do like a good short book from time to time. I feel like I need more short books to read because I feel like a lot of my books are quite long. I kind of like in the middle books where it's not too long but it's not too short. Kind of in the middle, like it's a good amount of books and pages to read. Favourite book trope? I feel like I'm terrible for this tag because I haven't read enough books. But I don't know if I really have a trope yet that I like. I don't know, I feel like maybe if I did this tag in a year from now, I might have an answer for this, but right now I don't. Favourite book to TV show / film adaptation? Agatha Christie is probably the only one I've seen so far. I actually started reading the books because I would watch the TV show when I was younger, which I know is a bit weird for a child to be watching like a crime drama. But I used to watch Agatha Christie, like Poirot and Miss Marple, like the TV show. And then I also used to watch like Midsummer Murders. And I didn't realise that Midsummer Murders is actually based on some books. So I was thinking of maybe getting the books from the author that Midsummer Murders is based off of. But probably Agatha Christie is probably I like the TV show, like it's so good. I love it. I think it's so well done. I want to watch it again, but because I'm reading the books, I'm trying not to because I might buy the books that the episode is based on. Like, I have read a few of the books and I will like remember that episode so well, and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this episode, remember that he killed that and then that happened. Reading in the book was weird. Like, one of the books I read, I think it's The Body in the Library. I remember watching that episode and I remember reading the book and be like, oh, I think I know this episode, and I was like, okay, I can't think about this too much because I might figure out how it ends. But yeah, as I was reading The Body in the Library, I remembered the episode. I think it's, I don't know if it's a Poirot book. Maybe it's not, it's an Agatha Miss Marple one. I can't remember. Anyway, but yeah, no, I remember like every time I read the book, sometimes I can kind of picture the characters, which really helps. But yeah, I think The Body in the Library is one that I was like, oh, I know this episode. You do not finish. Yes, I do. But I always come back to the books later on. I am someone who sometimes when I start reading a book, I might just really struggle to keep it going, because it might be a situation where I've read one book and then I want to read another one, but as I'm reading the next one, I really struggle to get through it because I'm like, oh, I'm not that interested in reading this book anymore. I had it recently where I read the Jurassic Park book and I went to go read Lost World, and I really got like halfway through Lost World and I just couldn't keep reading anymore. I've also done Stephen King's It. I actually have a little adaptation in that that kind of shows where I left it off, because it is such a big book. I just felt like I can't read it. And I started reading it in October last year, and I was halfway through it by like December, and I just felt a bit weird reading it in like December time. So I was like, I think I'll come back to this maybe next year in like closer to Halloween again and try to pick it back up, and it feels a bit more like appropriate for that book. What's a book you wish had a sequel? Ooh, good question. What's a book I wish had a sequel? Anne of Green Gables. I finished that and I kind of was a bit sad about how it ended. I was like, wait, that's it? Like, it finished it and I was like, that's it? Like, it's finished? Like, I was so sad. I was like, no, like, it needs to be more. Like, I kind of wish there was a second book. Favorite fictional place / setting? Ooh, I would have to say where the setting for Holly Black's like Cruel Prince series is set. I definitely would have to say it's probably my favorite, because the idea of it sounds really nice. Like, I always imagine it being a mix of like Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings. Like, I always imagine Holly Black's books being kind of a Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones meet kind of thing. That's the only way for me to describe it, because I do picture a lot of like Lord of the Rings settings, but then there's a lot of Game of Thrones stuff to it. I hope people have read the books, understand what I'm talking about, because they'll be like, oh, what is she on about? Ebooks, audiobooks, or physical books? I've never read an ebook, I've never really listened to audiobooks, and I've only read physical books, so I have to say physical books. I don't have anything against like ebooks. I think audiobooks might be a bit of a interesting thing. I definitely would love to do a video of me trying audiobooks and just doing a video of me experiencing it, because I've never done it before. Ebooks I have nothing against, especially if it's like you like physically can look at it on a screen and stuff. I feel like that'd be kind of cool. I have nothing against it. Audiobooks, I don't know if that would work for me. Maybe. I don't know if, like, do people count audiobooks on their like TBR list? Do they count that? I don't know. I would have to say physical books, because I don't really do either, but I definitely would like to try audiobooks and see how that goes. What is your preferred page length for a book? Ooh, page length. I would say like 200, 300 pages. I feel like 100 pages is a decent amount of pages, but I definitely feel like 200 to 300 could get you, like, that's enough pages for you to do a good intro, kind of lead up to the main part of the story, climax, and then have a good ending. Like, I feel like that's like 300 pages is definitely like enough. I definitely feel like it's enough. Also depends on like how small the font is and kind of how it's laid out, because sometimes it also depends on like the size of the book as well. Like, it might be like a bit of a shorter book and it might be like 300 pages and it might be this big thick, like Jurassic Park books are pretty like thick, but I think they're only like 300 to 400 pages. Yeah, they're about 430 pages, so that's a pretty fat little book, but they're not very big. Like, they're quite small, but they're quite thick, so I feel like 300 pages is definitely enough. I feel like 400 is a bit of a stretch, but it depends on what you're writing and what the book's about, I guess. Alright, so that is my first book tag. Hope you guys liked it. I definitely want to do this in a year from now because I feel like my answers might change, and also my variety of books I read will probably open up a bit, because I feel like only in the last like year to 2 years have I really started reading. So I feel like my answer will probably change in a year from now. But hopefully you guys liked this video. If you did, give it a big old thumbs up, and I will see you guys next time. Bye for now. Bye.